Sad day in America when all we can afford is some ground beef. Work 40 hours all week and can't even afford a steak. Something going on. Come on now, Trump. Help us out.
And right now, expect to pay about $2,600 more per year per household because of tariffs. This is the new federal sales tax on almost everything that we buy.
This is a great point that I forgot to mention. During Trump's first term, when he put tariffs on China, they retaliated and put tariffs on imported goods from the US, specifically agriculture and farming goods. And we had to subsidize farmers over $20 billion because they were going bankrupt. He claims that there was no inflation and claims that there was no financial burden on the United States after his tariffs and our consumers, but he had to bail out farmers who were literally cutting their profits in half because of his trade war that he started. No, we didn't see direct inflation overall, but that doesn't mean that nobody struggled and that nobody was impacted by Donald Trump's tariffs, because they were, and many small businesses suffered for it.
I truly do not care whether or not you can sell your grain to China. I truly don't. This guy in office ran his campaign on tariffs. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think that these other countries, they can't sell quite as many products to us because of the import, because importers don't want to buy them because they can't sell the products because of the markup on them. He ran his campaign on tariffs. What did you think was going to happen? Did you not look up the word tariff to see what it even means? I cannot feel too bad for you. When I sit around and watch these town hall meetings, and these people go, well, Mr. President, you said you loved us. Now we want to see the fruits of your love. What? The fruits of your love? He doesn't love you. He ran to get into office so he didn't get his ass thrown into prison. Which part of this do you people not get?
Who are all these people that want manufacturing jobs that these tariffs are supposed to bring back? Because the last time I checked, Republicans, they all want to buy crypto, they want to sell insurance, and they want to get a podcast. I don't see any of them lining up to work in a manufacturing plant. I've worked at a manufacturing plant, and you could not staff that place with native-born Americans. They staffed it with immigrant labor that we're now deporting. So, who are you?
There's plenty that still have not grasped what a tariff is, but the ones that have are trying to justify it by saying, we're just gonna buy shit made in America now. But we're not. We don't have every raw material in the world to make the stuff that we use today. And we don't have the climate to make every single food that we eat on a regular basis. Trump doesn't even use America to make his merch. We do have a couple people, though, that are regretting voting for Trump, and I'm going to share a couple of their comments that I've seen, because it took you this long. It took the price of your groceries for you to regret voting for him. Whatever works, but let me just show you. Trump promised lower prices. What happened? My whole church was relying on President Trump to lower prices. He lied to us. What kind of Christian lies like this? A man that's not a Christian. What the fuck? I wish I never voted for Trump. I wish you never did either, bitch. What the fuck?
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. So this is an interesting story here. The Fortune magazine recently hosted the Yale Chief Executive Leadership Institute course. Now, there are courses that tons of corporations send their leaders to, and this is one of the big ones, folks. And these are people at the top of the game. These are people who are like the CEOs of Ford, Gap, Nike, Home Depot, Target, ConAgra, Black & Decker. Those corporations, their CEOs who produce millions of jobs in this country, well, they're saying that the tariffs aren't working for America. And they've seen a very disturbing trend because they're saying that inflation, it has risen for them. And as we see that across the nation, it has. And by the way, they said the biggest problem with that was that it was reversing the trend that was happening during the end of Joe Biden's administration. That he had combated inflation and took it all the way down to 2.3%. Well, it's rising again, and it's making the CEOs nervous. And the manufacturing industry, which has been touted as they're going to bring manufacturing back to America, they said not unless there is investment from the government into the building of these manufacturing facilities. So, folks, the CEOs of America, they're the ones worried. And if they're worried and they're at the top of the chain and they know everything going on, we might all should be worried that something's coming down the pipe, and we've known it's been coming for a while.
In case y'all were wondering if tariffs are having a real world effect, I have a story for y'all. So my husband and I, we have a friend in Poland, and he wanted these headphones and like a little gift for his daughter. And it's cheaper, obviously, to buy some things in America. So he was like, well, I'll just buy it and then get it shipped to your house, and then you can ship it to me. And he thought it would just be, you know, like a flat rate to ship it from the United States to Poland. Well, I just got back from FedEx and DHL. Do you want to guess what I was quoted to ship this box? It's two things. FedEx quoted me $214. Express delivery would have been over $300. So I was like, thank you. I'm going to go check out DHL. DHL quoted me $241 to ship this box to Poland. I was able to chat with both of the workers about what's been going on with people trying to ship things during this era of tariffs. They said it's been really chaotic. People are shocked at how expensive it is to ship things. People are getting surprised with fees. So what most likely is going to happen now is we're just going to help him return these products that were bought, because it defeats the purpose of him trying to get something cheaper sent to him in Poland. He might as well just buy it where he is in Europe and pay extra, you know, rather than have to pay this huge tax. So thank you to the dumbass Americans who voted for Donald Trump. Y'all got, okay?
Alright folks, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for always come back to watch our videos. We really appreciate your support. While DT trade policies have broader support from among his base, the economic consequences of his tariffs have created, you know, a growing sense of frustration and anger among some of his royal voters, because the promise of protecting American jobs and industries has been met with the reality of rising costs and economic instability, directly impacting the very people who meant to benefit that economic policies. So in brief, it means MAGA have never got what they voted for, because they voted for economy, good economy. But are we seeing good economy? All tariffs are really affecting each and every day. So it has resulted into anger among MAGA voters, mostly farmers. Man, these tariffs has really affected them, because the increase of prices on everyday goods that only have affected huge number. Many Americans have been affected by the increase of prices and everyday goods, because one of the most immediate and tangible effects of the tariffs is the rise in consumers' prices. What MAGA forget is that consumer is the one who pays the tariffs. So the tariffs act as a tax on imported goods, and those costs are often passed directly on the consumer. So for many working class and rural families who form a significant portion of the MAGA base, this means that everyday necessities from groceries and home appliances to clothing and tools have become more expensive. This hits their wallets directly, undermining the promised economic, prosperity. So if you go shopping each and every day, it remains that you're the one paying that tariffs. Listen, it's very hard for MAGA to understand this, because tariffs is the tax on imported goods. MAGA is very hard for them to understand. So while the stated goals of tariffs is to boost domestic industry, the reality on the ground has been more complex. Many American businesses, including those in manufacturing, rely on imported components and raw material. For example, a factory that makes products in the US may still need import specialized steel, aluminum, electronics. The tariffs on these inputs increase the company's production costs, which can lead to higher prices, reduced competitiveness, and in some cases, layoffs or business closure. This directly impacts the livelihoods of workers in these industries, many of whom are DT supporters in the states like Michigan and Wisconsin. So you wonder why the MAGA votes the tariffs. There was a Project 2025. Everybody have told you that be careful. Everybody have said that, if you vote for tariffs, you're going to face such economic crisis. We're going to face hardship. Right now, you've seen the episode we've done last time. People are receiving tariff bills in their mail. Wherever you buy online, you receive tariff bills. But these things, if you explain to a MAGA, he or she never listen. She say, those tariffs are gonna, help us. We're gonna gain from those tariffs. Still, you the one pays tariffs. Man, there is something I've heard. These farmers, the way, they are request or they are begging for, help. They're begging the government for bailouts. You may find that the money the government used to bail out them is the tariffs those farmers paid. Yeah. It's the tariffs you paid, and then the government used that money to bail you out. Still, it's your money that is going to bail you out. So you wonder why MAGA have voted for tariffs, because tariffs are really, really crushing people. People no longer have, purchasing power. So from the agricultural heartland, a core part of DT's base has been particularly hard hit by retaliatory tariffs, mostly from China. Like when the US imposes tariffs on countries like China, those countries often respond with their own tariffs on American exports. This has severe impact on American farmers, especially those who export products like soybeans and corn. So with key foreign markets are effectively closed, all farmers faced a drop in demand and falling prices for their crops, leading to financial hardship and instability. You voted, and it's affecting you bigly. So that's why MAGA, they're angry because, man, they are seeing things are not moving, but they keep going down. They keep going down. So seeing things are not moving, you keep going down, man, you get angry because you voted to see things going well on your side. So things are not going well on their side. That is what's happening. So the unpredictable nature of DT's trade policies create, a volatile environment that makes long-term planning difficult for businesses. The constant threat of new tariffs and trade disputes has made it difficult for manufacturers and farmers to make investments, secure supply chain, and plan for the future. This uncertainty has been cited as reason for weakened job market and slowed down job growth, likely contradicting DT's promise of economic expansion and stability. So now you cannot plan when you don't know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe next month is going to add more tariffs. You don't have market for your soybeans, for your corns. So it means you are stuck. You've lost the market. And whatever you buy, you're going to add that tariffs. So do you believe things are going to go down? No. Even it will reach to the time where things that are manufactured in the United States are also going to increase in price. And some have increased too. So it means it is going to be hard for people to purchase things. So for many MAGA's voters, the anger stems from the feeling of betrayal, the original promise they supported, DT's visions of American first, and believed that tariffs would bring back jobs and make their communities more prosperous. However, they experienced the negative consequences firsthand: high prices, economic instability, and harm to their industries. They are realizing that the policies is not delivering on its promise. This has led to a noticeable shift in public opinion, with some prominent MAGA aligned with the commentator and voters expressing their frustration with the economic pain tariffs have caused. So instead of tariff causing joyful, like MAGA enjoying the way they voted, now it's economic pain. Yeah, it's anger. Because if you interview like one of the farmer that is facing hardship right now in this time, for example, soybeans in maybe Arkansas, and he's going to give you an anger response because things are not going the way he expected. He expected to see things move smoothly, but right now things are not moving smoothly. All right, folks, tell me what do you think about these tariffs. On your side, are tariffs really hurting you? Are tariffs, have tariff taken your purchasing power? Have you got a tariff bill in your mail? Tell me in the comment section. Let's keep our conversation there. I am a presenter, Fikazo. Thank you so much.